What's going on, people? Welcome to Otanime episode 10. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and I'm joined by Michael Crawford, a.k.a. Rika-san One, the only one.
What's good, people? What's good?
LeRay Williams.
You know who he is. It's the manga god and the visual aid god. What's up? Let's go.
Carlos Romero.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And we got a special guest on this episode, Mr. Callum May, otherwise known as the Kanipa.
Effects. There's more to it than that, but yeah, fine.
Good to have you on, man. No Chris. We don't know where this man is, and Manny's on vacation. We won't see him for a while. But we're still good on amount of people here, so it's going to be a crazy show. So let's get started as always. And Callum, since you're our guest here, why don't you start us off? What anime have you been watching lately?
Give us all of it, man. Lay it down.
Yeah, all of it. Yesterday, I finally decided, because I was sick all day, I turned on Chromecast. I was like, I'm just going to watch whatever happens to be in my YouTube feed, and thankfully, Gundam The Origin was there.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
I watched through the first film leading up to like the original Gundam series, which I still say is the best one. And
Nice.
it's fucking fantastic.
I prefer Zeta, but yeah.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah. No, I love both of them. I'm just like, man, I love me some Zeta, man. Yes, I'm one of those.
I still didn't like Zeta all the way
Okay.
through.
Mhm.
Like, because Amuro, he kind of grows into a somewhat likable character by the end after a load of whinging. Camille never gets that.
And then,
It's just
I'm not gonna
that-
say nothing about that because there's certain people here that are still gonna watch Zeta, so I'm not gonna say nothing about that.
Yeah, just being vague.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
I could vouch for that original Gundam. That thing is fucking amazing.
I'll tell you what. Zeta ages like a fine wine. I don't think there's any other anime that I know that ages as much as that. And in a good
Oh,
way,
yeah,
like
same.
you go back and you watch and understand the stories. Man, not even the original one did that one for me. I think that was the reason, because I know when I saw Zeta the first time, I was like, it was good. But now when I look back on it, I'm like, holy shit, I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking, saying it was good. That shit was great. But yeah, continue with your stuff. The origin.
Yeah, it's just weird to see all of the things that we saw from 0079. Like, back then the animation was... You'd see the cells moving, and you'd even see like bits of dust moving along with mechas, just because it was just so ancient. And now everything's like, I hate CG in mecha, but it was cool to see everything in
Yeah.
awesome high def.
Did you watch Origin in dub or sub?
I watched it in sub,
Oh, okay.
which is
The
weird
dub
because I watched the original in dub, but then I watched Zeta and then Unicorn in sub, and it went into this spiral of, oh yeah, I'll just watch Japanese sub for things.
Yeah. So this season just started. This new anime season. What from this new anime season have you been keeping up with?
Not as much as I did last season, which is surprising. So, kept up with Yuri Yuri, One Punch Man, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Conrevo. And then Iron Blooded Orphans, and that's kind of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
I would've-
this month.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been a little bit more than that. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, I started at loads. Like, I started
Yeah.
Heavy Object, Young Black Jack, and these,
uh-huh.
like, also I loved the first episode of Comet Lucifer, but
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier that everything's on a fucking weekend,
Yeah.
and I just don't have time to watch literally everything.
Yeah, it gets like that. We'll get to Tony about that, not having any time.
Man. Callum, anything else, man?
It's got to be something. This is all my life is nowadays. Oh yeah, and I've been watching Gundam 00. Just
Double
like
O, nice.
Iron Blooded Orphans, Origin, and 00, just all
So
at the same time.
it's been like a Gundam month for you, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, you know how they're doing the whole Bob Ross streaming thing on Twitch now? Somebody
Yeah.
put up this picture. I don't. It must have been Photoshop, but it's funny because it comes from history and pictures. They usually do legit things. Is Bob Ross from 1985 painting a Gundam? I'm like, that has to be fucking like Photoshop.
You might have to link that.
So I retweeted. It was hilarious. I'm like, wait, because the thing is like, oh, I'm looking. I'm like, that's got to be fucking like doctored. But then it was history and pictures. They don't do that. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Who knows? Maybe Bob Ross like Gundam.
That
You
was
see
hilarious.
It,
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, no, that was a parody account called Animated History. They've got the exact same. They've got the exact same like profile picture, so people will mistake the two.
Yeah, I guess I saw Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I got you. Because I'm like, that's hilarious. Bob Ross doing fucking Gundam. Oh man.
If you look carefully, the Lincoln is actually wearing the Gurren Lagann glasses.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, you can't see it from afar.
Oh man. All right. If you don't have anything else, we shall move on. LeRay, what about you? Actually, LeRay, man, what's going on with the drink you're having tonight, man? Like, put that on screen real quick. Right, people. He's drinking Coca-Cola, right? And I'm over here drinking Pepsi. And me and LeRay were boys, but tonight I think we got a little rivalry going on, man.
Man, it might take you out. I'm not talking too much.
All right. Just remember, LeRay, you know how New Yorkers hate on each other, right? Imagine how we hate on people outside of New York.
Yeah, for sure.
What you been watching, man?
So what I've been watching, let's see. Riku made me watch that Tales of Zestiria movie.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he made me watch that. It was like 45 minutes long, but like I thought it was like I kind of misinterpreted what Riku said because I thought it was like a prequel when it's actually just like the opening, like the very beginning of the game. It's just like they just made it all anime instead of just having you play through it. That was okay. You can skip it if you want if you're going to play Tales of Zestiria. Let's see. What else? I started watching Noragami, and I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna read the manga. I just read the manga all the way, and thinking about going back to watching the anime. Also, I started to watch One Punch Man. Everyone.
Nice. Right, a visual aid god,
But yeah, that's it for me.
Right. I may as well just go next. I'm worse than you. I haven't seen shit. Nothing. Not even my usual Toonami stuff. Nothing. It's been a crazy month, man. I thought September was gonna be crazy. Nope. October was worse. So very saddened by that. Like I'm barely able to watch like my normal TV shows. Like the only TV show I'm watching now is Flash. That's like the only one I have kind of time for. I know it's not anime, but fuck, man. So I'll hopefully next month I'll get it. Yes, people. That also means I didn't see the anime of the month. Very disappointed by that. I tried. I'm like, I can do it this week. And then shit just kept happening. Fuck, nothing. So yeah, that's me. Sad. Let's see, Carlos, what about you, man?
Yeah, it's been a slow week for me too. I've been busy. It's the tail end of the...
By the way, Carlos, I love how you're always like week. I know, month.
Yeah, I know. Everything goes by so fast.
Yeah, it does. Because I know last time you were like, oh yeah, on last week's Otanime, we had Otanime last week. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting at the tail end of the semester for school, and things are getting hectic and work and stuff. So I've only been watching the anime of the month, and as well as Haikyuu season 2, which, man, it's better than, I think it's been better than season 1, and One Punch Man as well, and
nice.
And everybody's got to watch that. That shit's
I have a problem with One Punch Man. I have a problem with it.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. Like, obviously, I haven't watched One Punch Man, but I'm also kind of glad I haven't watched it because now I get to watch like a good 5 episodes, like in a chunk, man. Because I'm so like, I know I haven't seen it, but I'm so fucking hyped for this shit. Every time Riku posts anything, I'm like, man, give me this fucking show, hero. Oh man. I get hyped just talking about it.
Remember our Dragon Ball Super segment? We might have to do One Punch Man.
Yeah, man, fuck Dragon Ball Superman. It's all about fucking One Punch Man now.
Yeah.
Riku, man, what's up? What you been watching?
Oh Lord. All right. Well, let me start from the top. All right. Well, first of all, let me start off with obviously the anime of the month. I finished that and the movie. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Um, I knocked that out at the beginning of the month because I know when Tales of Zestiria drops, everything is gonna hit the back burner, and that's kind of what happened. And anything that didn't come out on Sunday, I fell behind it. So the stuff that does come out on Sundays is Dragon Ball Super, Teketsu no Orphans, One Punch Man. Those three, I'm still caught up on those. But everything else, there was a nice handful of stuff this anime season I picked up also. I'm looking at my mal and it says I'm currently watching 12 things, including the stuff I said.
Holy
So
crap.
I'm behind in damn near all of them because of Zestiria, but I was caught up with it before Zestiria started, but only by like 2 or 3 episodes. But they are Garo, Haikyuu Season 2, Noragami Aragoto, Orari no Seraph Season 2. What's this one called again? I'm not gonna say that Japanese name. Anti-Magic Academy, and yeah, I'll talk about that
Why
in a
are you
second.
watching that?
I've only seen 2 episodes. Give me a break. And I have my reasons for that. I'll explain that in a second. And Young Blackjack. I am 3 episodes in Young Blackjack. I need to get caught up with that because I know I'm behind that. The thing about Anti-Magic Academy, I only started watching that because of 2 other anime that I didn't even mention. Sorry, I'm going to mention it right now. Gakusen Toshi and Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry. I'm watching both of those.
Okay, you still have no excuses.
No. Okay, no. Okay,
Exactly
hear
the
me
same
out.
show.
I know. Hear me out. So the reason I started Gakusen Toshi was because before the anime was really even announced, I saw the PS Vita game, and the PS Vita game looked cool. So I was like, oh, this looks cool. If it games like those usually get ported over here, PSN only, and then they obviously no one cares about it, but I'm the one that usually does care about it. So I'm like, you know what, this looks cool. If it ever comes over here, I'll play it. And then that's when I heard about the anime. I was like, oh, okay. Well, it has an anime. Oh, it comes out this anime season. All right, I'll give it a chance. I didn't hear anything else about it. I heard it was going to be bad, generic, all that other stuff. I'm coming in from the aspect of, oh yeah, I like what the video game looked like. Let me see what the anime is about. And when I saw episode 1 of Gakusen Toshi, I was like, okay, I mean, generic, but not necessarily bad. And then when I was talking to a couple of my other anime friends, they were like, oh my god, I do not like Gakusen Toshi. I'm like, well, what's the issue with it? He's like, because it's just like another anime I saw a day later called Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry. I'm like, huh? Really? They're like, yeah, basically the concept in both of these are, the main character, he's a swordsman that is apparently really good, and we don't know why. He goes to an academy, he meets a girl with pink hair who, is also a swordsman, but has pyromancy powers. Main character sees a girl in her undergarments and accidentally grabs her tits. Both of these things happen in both of these animes in episode 1. And I didn't when I was like, oh my god, these are like fucking twin animes. And a lot of people were turned off by it. I was actually intrigued by it. I was like, wow, these things I can't believe this happened. The exact same season, they came out I think one came out a day before the next, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to continue to watch these series just to see how long these two stay the exact same. So episode 2, same thing happens. Main character meets the third girl who is kind of a emo. She's super overpowered, but you don't know it. She has an issue with the pink-haired girl, and obviously she likes the main character, and the pink-haired girl and the second girl has an issue. This happens in both animes. I'm like, oh well, I guess episode 2s are identical also. And then my friend told me, oh, there's a third anime that's apparently like them also. I'm like, what? Third anime? What's that one called? And they're like, Anti-Magic Academy. I was like, oh really? So I checked the Anti-Magic Academy also. It's not necessarily like the other 2, but I still see some resemblances, why people would say that, main character, swordsman, academy, meets girl that doesn't like him, accidentally grabs her tit. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see some similarities between, you could technically call them triplets, and the third one is kind of like the fraternal one. So I'm like, huh. All right, you know what? I'll watch all three of them just to see, you know, if any of them. Right now, when I'm thinking about it, now that I have so much on my plate, I kind of regret it. I should have just stuck with Gakka Santoshi, stayed in my
Yeah,
lane,
that's just pure masochism.
yeah, it is. It is because one week is just like, all right, well, what the fuck? I don't. All of them drop on like, I think Gakka Santoshi and Reikidai Kishi no Cavalry dropped the same day, and the other one's
Yeah.
like a couple days later. But I try to watch all three of them at the exact same time on the exact same day, so I have to wait for obviously the third one to get it. But obviously I've been falling behind on those because they're not really that important to me. Noragami's good. I need to get caught up on that. Haikyuu, man, I've been hearing some things. I need to get caught up on that.
Your
And
Origami in, man. I can't wait for y'all to
yeah,
catch up with the manga
yeah,
stuff.
and Dragon Ball Super is actually really, really good right now. So I'm not gonna be one of those guys to say fuck Dragon Ball Super, but
Still waiting
it's,
on a dub.
yeah, I don't know if that's coming anytime soon, bro.
Yeah.
Sadly, but no, episode. What was episode 16 about? Oh yeah, Vegeta acting like a goddamn idiot. Don't worry about that. But it's still good. It's still good. So and plus they get into the Fukatsu no F stuff, so that's great. But yeah, that's all. That's all the stuff I've been watching.
All right, so I guess we can move on to the anime of the month. By the way, Chris is coming. He's watching the Mets, and Chris, if you guys know, he's a huge Mets fan. They won tonight, so he's going fucking crazy right now.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Chris is from Flushing, just like me, and the Mets are in Flushing, so
Wow.
you know, so he's losing his mind. All right, so what happened?
Get the Mets.
Yeah, he's forgetting.
I'm just playing. I don't watch baseball, so I don't.
Hey, I don't watch them either, man. I don't, I really don't care personally. I just think it would be cool if like the home team wins and shit. All right, so let's move on to Trigun. Some of you guys haven't seen this. I didn't see it at all either. So let's see. I'm just gonna let you guys go. I wish Chris was here to kind of lead you guys, but actually, LeRay, why don't you kind of lead us? Since I know you've seen it from back in the day and stuff. So what's Trigun all about, man?
So I'm not trying to. Trigun is about Bachelor Stampede. He's like this outlaw that's rumored to. He's called Bachelor Stampede, the humanoid typhoon, and he's rumored to like destroy this whole town of people, murder everyone in it, and he has like a double billion bounty on his head.
Damn.
And so like these two girls follow him around because they work for this insurance company and they want to make sure he doesn't destroy or the place. So they follow this supposed dangerous guy, and they find out that he's not really that dangerous. He's just like this kind-hearted guy that wants to protect everyone. And it's just you follow him on his misadventures of him trying to save everyone. And you're like, there's a sense of mystery that surrounds him because like he's rumored to destroy a city, but he's like kind-hearted. And so you eventually see into his dark past and what's going on and like what actually happened at the city and how it was destroyed. And like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so what did we think of it? Let's go with Riku. What did you think of it, man?
That was a good synopsis. Like I said, I'm not gonna hold back, LeRay. Even though Chris isn't here, he's just gonna have to hear in the record, or when he comes here, I may repeat myself. Who knows? But obviously, this is 2015. I'm not sure if I watched it back in the day, if I would feel the same way. Part of me feels like I would probably feel the same way because if I already told you guys back when Cowboy Bebop was recommended, and when I was watching Outlaw Star early this summer, I'm not necessarily a fan of the gunslinger genre, and I don't think I ever have been. So when everyone was talking about Trigun back in the day, my mindset was I'm not really a fan of gunslinger stuff, so I'm not really gonna watch this. Since it was the anime of the month, I was I watched all of them. So what do I think about it? I think it's average. I think it's an average anime. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I don't even think it's good. I just think it's average. I do give credit to Madhouse. Animation was really good. The dub I thought was okay. Also, it wasn't. I didn't feel it was anything great. Also, apparently, what was the voice actor's name that did Vash?
Johnny Young Bob.
Yes, apparently this was his first anime English dub.
Oh, interesting.
He didn't even show it to my
character.
Yeah. That's how I remembered his name.
Yeah, this was his first one. And when I know I've heard his voice before, and because he's done a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, he's Ichigo. Yeah, he's Ichigo.
Yeah. So, when I heard him doing this, I could obviously hear that. Well, in my opinion, I felt that he was. This is obviously one of his earlier works, and probably not saying it was bad, but it was probably his worst, in my opinion. I think his as far as acting, not his voice overall, but all other stuff. As far as Vash's how he portrayed Vash's personality, if this is Vash's personality, so I can't really judge him on that. But I just felt his other works were better, and speaking of the movie, I felt it was better in that. I'll talk about the movie, in a second. But as far as the story, I did. Here's the thing about the story. There was a quote that one of my friends told me that stuck with me, and it's basically comedy and sense of humor is it's subjective. Sometimes certain things will make this guy laugh, and sometimes this won't make you laugh. And if it doesn't make you, if one of the main genres in an anime, if one of its main genres is comedy, and it you're not really clicking with it, that's just that there isn't anything really wrong with you. It's just those jokes really didn't click with you. So I'm not gonna. I don't know if I should be blaming myself because I didn't really find damn near any of the jokes that they were throwing my way funny, or I don't know. I just didn't find any of its comedic presence funny. Anything about Vash, I did not find it funny. None of his jokes.
Eureka.
Yeah.
I blame you.
You know blame me? Oh God! Please don't mention One Punch. Good.
Because you watched the dub.
Oh really?
The sub was good.
Oh
The
really?
sub is actually really good. Yeah.
Oh. So maybe it was the dub. Maybe it was the dub. Maybe it was the dub. That could be it. Because we know this was around the time where dubs they weren't really promising. They weren't bad, but it was slightly turning around. It was
it was back in those days it was still hit and miss,
Yeah, and this was one of those where it was just like, if you were watching it back in the day, you probably didn't mind it, but if you were watching it now, you would definitely think that this isn't anything, great. And I sort of felt that way. This came out back in the 90s, correct?
Yeah.
98.
Yeah, and then the movie came out. I'm surprised because when I looked up on Mal when the movie actually came out, the movie came out 5 years ago, 2010.
Oh wow!
So that's not that
long ago.
That's not that long ago. And I did two little written reviews, and I obviously liked the movie a lot more. And it's not because it was newer, but you could just tell even from the the voice acting that it was just so much better. I actually did not mind his voice acting or even anything he did as far as Vash in the movie, because it felt like he had more confidence in his acting by the time he did the movie Badlands Rumble. It was really good in there, and it was weird because for some reason in the movie when it came to how Vash acted or any of the jokes that he threw at the viewer, I actually found it funny in the movie. So
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah, you find this one funny then?
Yeah, it was weird how I found the stuff in the movie. Yeah. His and he didn't necessarily as far as Vash's personality he didn't necessarily change anyway. But I think it was the voice acting behind it.
Writing.
What happened?
I don't know.
Say that again. I didn't hear it. What happened?
Oh, I said that maybe it was different writing.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but it just I don't know. The movie you could definitely tell they Madhouse and the voice actors and you could tell they learned a lot of stuff by the time they did the movie. as far as like the story and but when LeRay was talking about his past and whatnot, didn't click with me. I found it. This word might be a little it could be arguable because obviously this is people find this to be one of the first. So me using this word, people might be like, "What? You can't say that. This is one of the first." I find it generic.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I find it. The whole guy's past. I can't really remember my past. I've seen it so many times before, and I've seen it back in that day too. A lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, well it was one of the first." But yeah, I know something that came up before that did a whole secret past thing, and he has a dark side to him. It's called Rurouni Kenshin, Batousa the Manslayer. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he remembers his past, but it was kind of. It really did give me that vibe of just because there was obviously there was a villain that's trying to get him to go back to his dark side and all that stuff. And I'm just like, I've seen this before.
That was his brother.
Huh?
That was his brother.
Yeah, I really don't care who it was. It was.
Damn.
It was the theme.
Cold.
I've seen it before, and
Thank goodness Chris is not here.
Yeah. By the way, but when Riku was talking, I was like, "Hey, dude, we started talking about Trigun. Riku doesn't like it. He's like, I'll be there in 5 minutes to defend it." Oh
yeah,
man. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I'm just saying it's an average. Like on Mal, as far as bad is concerned, that's a 4, and average is considered a 5. So I'm like, all right, it's a 5. It's average to me. As far as the movie, I like the movie. I gave the movie a 9. The movie was great. I liked everything about the movie, even the story, like the story that the movie had. Because you know how when it comes to anime stories, they try to throw you something that that's obviously going to wrap up by the end of this 90-minute thing, and they did it really well in that movie. They introduced that new redhead girl. She was a really good character. I honestly wish she was in the anime, and her backstory was really good in the movie. But I don't know, as far as the actual characters that they had, like the two girls that following him around, not likable whatsoever to me.
Like, man, fuck the bitches.
There's I don't know. They're obviously the bitchy one with the short one with the blue hair. Just found her.
Right?
Yeah, I just found her annoying, and the other one just a bimbo. I didn't find either of them likable. Yeah, I'll tell you who was actually good. Wolfwood. Wolfwood was a good
Oh
character.
yeah. Is that the priest?
Say what?
Is that the priest?
Yes, that's the priest. The priest with the giant cross, aka. Yeah, that guy was cool. And when they introduced him,
that giant like cross that's the case for a gun. And,
yeah.
Like, rocket launcher and shit.
And it's weird because when both Vash and Wolfwood first meet, they're like he's looking in a mirror. It was like I think the whole episode was basically them doing the exact same thing. Someone's in trouble. They're both running over there. They're both jumping at the same time. They're both landing at the same time. It was really funny because Wolfwood he's almost just like Vash, but he obviously has his own beliefs and stuff. And I'm not gonna say what happens to poor Wolfwood, but
why not?
It's a good ass character. I mean, this is Otanime. So, oh, there we go, Chris. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, sorry guys. I've been lost in the national pastime because the Mets in the World Series, baby, won tonight.
Woo! Nice.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I was ignoring the world, dude. I had a ton of messages on my phone. It was like I woke up from a coma, like, oh shit, old anime's on, and like a million other messages. So, got it.
Damn.
Hey, they stopped the sweep, man.
Oh, thank God. They're back in Queens, man. You should hear all the people like screaming outside.
Oh, is that what's going on tonight? But yeah, so yeah, just to sum it up a little bit, Riku, not a big fan of the Triguns.
No, I'm not, man. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, oh yeah, it was great, and then like deep down I'm like, that shit fucking sucked. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people. I'm just gonna tell you, man.
All right, so, yeah, let's hear the other side of the equation. Chris, why do you love Trigun so much?
I think because it had I like the world it established. Like you didn't. I admit when I saw the beginning, I didn't see it coming. Like I was like, what kind of weird Western world are they in, right? And yet they build up all that stuff where it's. I mean, have you given out the spoilers already? Have you?
Dude, just go ahead, man. This is Otanime
sure, sure.
spoiler
That
alert.
this was basically Earth colonization, right? Gone wrong. Like
Yeah.
this is not what they expected. They land on this planet, and then the whole thing with him and Knives and the people who are actually bred to be plants and they're like slaves. They're just energy generators. That whole thing I thought was really interesting. And then not to mention the crazy action and stuff. I know some of it gets goofy. It definitely like swings back and forth between being serious and heavy and then building this world and then this goofy action. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Like it really, I think it really swang too far. Whereas Cowboy Bebop always kept like a nice flow and pace between humor when they had it and then serious tones. Like this one kind of swung too far, which is maybe I could understand why Riku didn't like it. But I love that whole the character of Vash the Stampede. I love I love his goofy nature. I love like how kind he was, and I love like the fact that he had an opposite, and it wasn't Wolfwood. Like they present Wolfwood early on, and he's kind of like sort of Vash, but like the anti-Vash because he's so badass and stuff. And then you meet Knives, and then there's the anti-Vash right there. They're just like that was the mirror, right? And he's just totally sociopathic and evil.
No, Knives wasn't the one that tried to bring out his dark side. It wasn't Knives. It was some filler episodic guy that tried to do it.
I thought Knives was.
Knives. I don't remember Knives doing that.
You're talking about the guy with the blue hair that got shot in the face?
Yeah, it was him. It was him.
No. Well, he was but Knives was the one controlling him.
Yeah, but it wasn't Knives.
Well, everything led to him. Like
Yeah, sure.
you know, he was controlling all of that stuff, and he was manipulating things because he's just like an anarchist. He's like, it's a very far off analogy. I don't want to make the analogy as it's like Batman and Joker, but that's kind of what it was with Vash and Knives, you know. And you know, he's just trying to live, and he's going around like lone gunman, whatever. And he's kind of goofy and fun. I kind of enjoyed that. And I like how everything concluded, except for Wolfwood. I did think that kind of sucked because he's an awesome character.
Yeah, I was trying to hold back, but since Tony said, yeah, it's Otanime. Yeah, Wolfwood gets jagged at, man.
I don't like Vash's character really. I feel like he's too naive. Like he just like sees the good in everyone when there's not really good there. Like for example, he like saves the whole city from like this corrupted mayor or something, and like you know he has a chance to kill him, but he doesn't. He doesn't kill anyone. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, he in a world that's so lawless and horrible, like he's the only like just completely hopeful optimist. Like he doesn't kill, like that's his rule, and that you need that guy in a world that is just so horrible, right? Everyone he fights is just like it's almost like they took the Fist of the North Star rejects and they stuck him in Trigun. Because the first guy he's fighting is that guy with the huge earlobes and he throws that like enormous boomerang. I'm like, dude, you didn't make the cut of Fist of the North Star, but you got in here.
But the thing is, though, you think that he learned his lesson to like, you know, chill out with that. I'll save everyone. I'm not gonna hurt anyone thing. When you like see his whole body, like it's covered in scars and like what. I don't know. He look like he's missing an arm. He's like like vents on his chest and like scars everywhere. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I also thought as far as I thought both Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Outlaw Star. I think it was just a thing for these 26 episode anime back in the day, and probably still today. I felt the pacing was just it wasn't there, man. It wasn't there. I think that was just how they did stuff in the 90s, which was, I guess, okay for the 90s. I honestly think it's not the type of pacing that you can enjoy if you binge watch it. And basically what that pacing is, literally the first half of the anime, the first 12 episodes of the anime are going to be episodic and semi-filler. You might get, a little introduction to here and there, but episodic, and forgettable at most. You might remember this and that, but majority of it is forgettable. And by the time you actually get to what the canon main character bad guys, you have like 3 episodes left. And you're like, damn, I wish this main villain was at least hinted or introduced a little bit earlier, because this whole time, he's just, I don't know. I felt no threat, and like, I will. Let's go ahead and just compare it to One Punch. Yes, I know One Punch has no fucking threat, but I understand. We understand that. I was looking at Trigun for a different reason, and obviously not the same for One Punch. So if anyone ever uses the example, well, Saitama, he doesn't really have a threat. That's not what I came into One Punch Man looking for. With Trigun, I came into stuff. I mean, like I said, the only threats I really thought he had was when the dude that Knives was controlling, I can't remember his name, the blue-haired one. When he first came in, that was when I was like, okay, yes, finally we're starting to get a threat. And we were around like episode 18. I had to wait that whole time to get it, because like I was telling them earlier, Chris, comedy is subjective, and we all know this. So if the jokes aren't really making you laugh, you're not necessarily going to enjoy the majority of the stuff that the show throws at you. And that's a personal issue that I just have to I just have to deal with. That's just something with me. That's nothing wrong with the show. And I know people that actually have this issue with One Punch right now. They're like, the jokes aren't funny. Therefore, for me, the show isn't that good. I've met people like that, and they're like, the jokes aren't funny. I'm sorry, the show just, I don't see why it's good, but it's not as hype as people are putting it up there, because jokes just don't click with me. I was like, well, that's a personal issue if the jokes don't click with you, because comedy is subjective, And I think when it came to Trigun, that's where, I think that was definitely one of the things that was getting to me. Because I was telling them also that when it came to the movie was actually funny. The jokes that they were actually presenting in the movie, Badlands Rumble. I'm glad I watched the movie, by the way. Even though you said that was optional, I'm glad I fucking watched that movie, because I loved the movie. The movies in that were funny. And for some reason, everything else just clicked with me. Like, Vash's personality in the movie, all the stuff, little jokey stuff that he was doing. He was kind of doing the same stuff in the anime, but it felt different. And obviously, the movie is 10 years older than the anime, so maybe it has something to do with that. It just felt like something was different.
I think the writing and pacing was definitely more modern. That's why it gelled a little bit better with you. The series is definitely older. It has older pacing, and I definitely think where I always look at shows like Pendulum, right? There's shows that stay in a dark tone. There's shows like, if you watch Evangelion, there ain't no jokes in there, right? Right? I mean, a little bit, like maybe, like,
we're not here. Yeah, we're not here to look for jokes and
someone gets drunk. That's the funniest Evangelion gets.
Or maybe Shinji and interaction between Shinji and Asuka. That's probably
that's funny to me, man.
That's funny. And then at the same time, it's kind of sad. But like Trigun swings all over the place. Like the pendulum goes all the way goofy. Like he's smiling in one direction and goes all the way like
serious. When they're showing his backstory and all that stuff.
Yeah, the episode where he fights that really huge guy, the one where he beats him by blowing off the safe door. I forgot that guy's name.
Are you talking about the big purple one with the with the orange visor on his head?
Yeah, that really huge dude, right? And he blew up the safe door to stop him.
Yeah.
That guy, that episode got heavy, man, because a lot of people died.
That was around the time where the other dude that I thought, when stuff actually people started to come in and start giving Vash a challenge. That was another one of the characters that came with him. Those wave of characters. I'm like, yes, finally.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Those guys should have shown up earlier. Like, they took a long time to build up. Like, oh, there's this whole group of guys who are going to go against him, because he was kind of fighting like these stupid bounty hunters, and that's kind of what was happening over and over again. And then he has the insurance girls following him around, and they had this rapport, but there really wasn't anything like really deep going on there for a while, and then those guys get introduced, and that's when things really start getting dark. But I think that's when the pendulum just swung the other way and everything went really heavy.
Yeah, and I know, fun fact, I actually started to watch Trigun about like 4 or 3 years ago, and I only got like 3 episodes in because that's what I thought this entire thing was going to be. And back then I felt the same way I felt now. It's like jokes weren't clicking with me. I'm not really a fan of episodic in this time of my life, and and I dropped it back then. And then when Trigun was recommended, I was like, all right, time to give Trigun a second chance. And around the beginning, I felt kind of the same way until we got to the part where guys started to give him a challenge. I'm like, great, challenge. And then they was hitting me with the backstory and whatnot. And another thing, what caught me off guard, and I felt it was probably I don't think it was really needed. You probably can disagree with me. The whole random alien-looking megabuster out of control scenes with Vash, like I really didn't think those were needed. What were your thoughts on that?
I'll agree with you. Like that was the the whole $60 billion double bounty. Why that he has it is because he can lose control and whip out this ultimate super weapon. It's kind of weird because it's I figured that it would have been nicer if they went into that it was other people who caused all this damage just because of him or hunting him down, which is what they were alluding to the whole show. That he just goes somewhere and everybody causes all this damage just trying to catch this son of a bitch, and that's what
that's what I thought it was, and I would have been fine with that. But then
I'm about to read the manga and compare the two, see like how much the manga fleshes out the story and doesn't imply, so I can.
The thing about the mangaka is that he's got a knack of writing kind of bland manga that gets adapted into really good anime. Happens the same with Kekai Sensen. The manga's just really bad, but the anime's fucking fantastic.
I have some issues with Kekai Sensen also.
So I will agree with that. I think it was good enough that he was just this kind of ultimate man. He's like a perfect shot. He can calculate all this stuff in his head, whatever. He's like the next evolution of the guys in the plants, right? And they're just stuck in there. They're basically, that's why they look like light bulbs. They're just screwed in and just power something. And he and Knives, they were like kind of like the ultimate people, right? They were meant to colonize, and so that was enough. The whole Mega Buster thing, I agree, was kind of weird.
It felt out of place. I was just watching that one, the episode. I think it was the episode where he was fighting the purple guy, where that Mega Buster thing just kind of came out because as far as I remember, he was kind of getting beat against that guy for a little while, until he's in his head he was triggering that Batosa, that manslayer side of him. And the Mega Buster came out, and he's like, "Oh, I can't control it!" And then just, boosh. I'm like, "What the fuck just happened? Does that even mean what the hell?" And then, every other episode after that, it was always like a thing where, "Oh my God, this thing is coming out my hand. I can't control it. I might explode." And then it doesn't. And then they may have did that like 3 or 4 more times before the show ended. And then obviously at the end where his brother had one also, and then they had their fight. I thought the beginning fight with them, just gunslinging and fighting each other, I thought that was cool. But when they, started pulling the Mega Busters and all, like, okay, no, didn't need that. But Knives was interesting. It was an interesting character. But like I said, I wish he was kind of like when we were talking about Cowboy Bebop and what was the dude, the main antagonist at the end of it?
Vicious.
Yes. Yeah, I felt the same with him and Vicious. They're just really good villains, but they were just introduced so fucking late, man. We got like 3 episodes left, and now you want to introduce this guy? And damn it, man! I wish he was here earlier.
Well, I agree. Like Vash, I enjoyed it because I thought it was fun to watch, and the animation was great. But Vash is not a relatable guy. He's not like Spike. Spike was a bad guy, right? He's like a guy who's like found his way and reformed himself, right? But he's not a good guy.
Spike? I wouldn't consider Spike a bad guy, but I definitely wouldn't consider him a good guy.
No, I said he was. He was, right? They were in Syndicate together. Like he changed his ways,
he was, yeah.
And that's why Wolfwood is so likable in the show. I think a lot of people prefer him because he's that same way.
Wolfwood was my favorite character.
Yeah, he's a lot of people's favorite character, and I like his character a lot. I was kind of pissed that he died. So, but he was awesome in there, and I guess it sort of makes sense because he kind of. If they're both there, he kind of overshadows Vash a little bit because he's definitely more relatable and likable to a lot of people than Vash is.
Yeah, but no, like I was telling them earlier, like I said, I not like the show. I just thought it was average. You know, I thought it was average. I'm not saying, oh my god. If someone ever mentions Trigun to me, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that show was ass. No. It was, I just didn't think it was. In my personal opinion, I didn't think it was one of the best animes of all time. Like how Anthony Vash on Twitter is always going crazy about it.
Fan of Vash?
No, not fan of Vash.
Oh, Nash.
Okay. Sorry.
Let's.
No, sorry, I call him Anthony Vash because.
Okay.
Right now.
Going back to something you guys said, I think you're right. I think the creator was named Naito, right? Naito or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he did say that he liked the manga better than his actual. I mean, the anime more than the manga. Like he said, they did it better than he did. I could be wrong on that, but I think that was the anime that were like, hey, yeah, they kind of did a better job than I did. Carlos, man, get in here. What do you think?
Yes, first off, shout out to Fan of Vash because I didn't know who the hell Vash was.
Yeah.
But I've known Fan of Vash for like years now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I liked it. I tend to compare it to a lot to Cowboy Bebop just because they're similar genres and they came out around the same time. I think it's the same year, '98. And I think I prefer Trigun over Cowboy Bebop, to be honest. I agree. I agree with Riku about the whole like the tale of two halves. The first half is more of an episodic half, and it's just like madness.
And like I said, that's not necessarily Trigun's fault because it seems that both Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop, and Trigun. It seems like a lot of '90s 26 episode animes just had that that formula.
Yeah, and I also agree about the whole critique on the bounty thing. At first, I thought so this is my ideal way the whole bounty thing was going. So he probably started off with like a low bounty, and people would just try to kill him, and they would wreak havoc around the whole place, and it would just build up and build up and build up until it reached like a crazy amount, and they were tearing down cities. So I think that's how I wanted it to be, but
yeah, misunderstood type of thing.
Yeah. When it came to that whole weapon thing, I was like, nah. But yeah. So, but I don't know. I like the character a lot. So I told Riku that I'd like. I guess maybe the dub didn't do him justice, but I think the guy who did the Japanese voice was really good, and I really like this character. He's really unpredictable. I like I like the comedy too. I think. Yeah,
maybe I would have been better off watching the sub, really. But no, like I was saying, I ended up liking Vash by the time I watched the movie. So the entire time of the anime, I didn't necessarily like him as a character. I thought, he's probably just as annoying as the girls following him. But until the movie started, that's when it finally clicked with me, where it's like, okay, I understand all your comedy. See, I don't know, man. For some reason, it felt like he was a little more fleshed out and clean in the movie, as far as what I guess they wanted to showcase.
Right. Yeah, and
did you see the movie?
No, I didn't see the movie.
Oh, yeah. I highly recommend that.
Yeah, I liked Badline Rumble. So the only reason I said it was optional because I know it's a 26 episode show, so I figured, okay, that's what I wanted everyone to watch. But yeah, I mean, I also wanted the movie.
Tony made us watch a 38 episode thing with the movie too. So
well, I know you're a beast when it comes to anime, dude. So I know you would watch it, but
yeah, Riku could watch like 32 episodes in his sleep.
Maybe Canada can do that. I can't.
Callum, why don't you get in here? I know you didn't see the whole thing. You saw some of it. What do you think? Because you hadn't seen it before.
Yeah, a bit of a. It's I wouldn't say it's a crap version of Cowboy Bebop, but it's an alright version. Like, I agree with a lot of what Ricky was saying. It felt like I was watching a Pirates of the Caribbean movie without the one-liners, and the action comedy just fell flat in so many ways. But I really liked the narrative structure of just. Because you could watch one episode and be like, yeah, I'm done with that for now, because they were just complete stories. And it knew what it wanted to do, and obviously it didn't get to the bit where they actually started on the plot, but they introduced enough elements of the world to actually make it interesting. just not enough to actually get me gripped. And yeah, I agree with like the idea of, oh, this is just a regular guy who's just really good at not dying, and his entire bounties are based on that. I love that idea, but obviously that isn't going to come to fruition.
He was obviously a highly modified human.
Yeah.
I could see where the problem is. Like, if they had gone in that direction, like, just stick with the goofy guy who can survive anything. And even if you added in, oh yeah, he was this engineered human being and he's so good at shooting and all this stuff, that would make sense. And then the bounty thing, just keep it like, oh, everybody tries to go kill this guy and they can't, and they destroy everything. That's why he has such a huge bounty on his head. That would have been fine. But also, they should have introduced all the guns and all that agenda earlier. Like,
they
did wait too long. That was one flaw. Like, everything, like you said, is encapsulated. It's just like he escapes a bounty, he escapes another bounty, he encounters someone else who needs help, and it's just all isolated until the guns start showing up, and then you find out, oh, there's this bigger thing going on, and who's pulling the strings or whatever, and that took too long to get to that, you know?
Yeah.
So I can see that. I still enjoy it, but I agree.
Yeah.
I see those.
I definitely don't say, oh yeah, you're not entitled to enjoy it. Definitely do. What I was gonna ask you was the definition of the anime, because I know for Outlaw Star, obviously Outlaw Star was the name of the ship that they rided around, and so was the case in Cowboy Bebop. So can you explain to me, Chris, exactly explain how he got this name for Trigun? Because I know obviously he had a special type of gun. I don't really know where the tri-part came from, and then there was the whole Mega Buster thing. So I was still kind of confused by why he called the show Trigun. Someone gave me a good reason why they called it Trigun. I can't remember who it was.
I always thought it was something to do with that big cross gun. I was like, oh, it's got 3 sides, therefore it's a Trigun.
Yeah. I just figured it had to. It was because he and Knives both had guns and they both had the Mega Buster. That's the only thing I figured that was the 3 guns. But it's not. I don't. It was not clear what it is. I don't think it was Wolfwood though. Like, I don't think he considered the 3rd gun, because he. Even though the cross was awesome, it didn't compare when they introduced this Mega Buster thing, which was like a doomsday weapon.
Even his regular gun. His regular gun was still kind of super.
I'm looking right now. I'm looking on Yahoo Answers. I'm kind of cheating, but like it says it says Buster Stampede has 3 guns to his name, but the 3rd gun shows up in episode 16. Batch's first gun is his silver handgun with the barrel marked 45 long Colt Angel Factory. Batch uses this gun for the first time in episode 5 while fighting the Nebraska family. His second gun appears for the first time in episode 12 while fighting Money the Gill. Batch's left arm actually turns into a gun, his hand slides out, and his arm functions as the barrel of the gun.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The same arm is replaced with the machine gun arm in episode 19 when he gets a new arm. The 3rd gun appears in episode 16 while fighting Rai Dai, the Blade. Batch's entire right arm fuses with his civil gun to transform into a devastatingly powerful weapon called the Age of Arms. The Doomsday Weapon, or whatever you want to call it. This is probably the most powerful weapon used in the entire series.
Alright.
Okay, there you go.
That's a stupid reason. Oh yeah, what do we call the show? Trigun, because he's got 3 guns.
I mean, he's basically the 3 guns.
Yeah.
But still,
it's anime, you know.
Yeah, sure. You can just chalk it up to it's anime, but it's just like, obviously when it comes to naming your stuff, you obviously want to choose something that is easy to title dropping people to understand. But I remember hearing another reason why it was called Trigun. And I actually think whoever told me that reason, it was actually better than that one. But that one, it definitely makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the main reason.
I don't know. It's just like Dragon Ball Z. You know what the series centers around? Like the Dragon Balls are, Full Metal Alchemist. It centers around the Full Metal Alchemist. You know, it's just.
Yeah, meanwhile, you have a show like Bleach. What's it centered on? Ichigo's bleached hair? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I think Bleach stands for, like, purifying souls or something. That's what it was all about in the beginning. Then it become this over-convoluted
Dude, there are so many definitions on why he called it. I know one of them. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it's just because of the show's demon idea, like spirits with white and bleach.
Yeah,
I always thought that's like, oh, I was like, oh, it's a
His
running
hair.
joke. Yeah, I was like, it's a running joke, right? Because everybody's always like, you bleach your hair. It's like, no, I don't. This is my natural hair color. So I thought the whole name of the show was just a joke on that.
and one of
Yeah,
the
but
things I heard was that how there's Soul Reapers and they were basically cleansing the hollows, and people were basically they were saying it like bleaching the souls or cleansing them or
Nobody
something like
knows
that.
that. That's what we're trying to get
Yeah,
at. Nobody really knows.
and then there was an interview. I can't remember if I'll probably find this interview, but there was an interview with Kubo, and they asked him
Yeah.
why he called it Bleach or why he even like thought that would be a good name, and what he told them was, well, Bleach was the name of like a band that I really liked, and that was basically it. And I was like, really? You probably can't find it if you look hard enough. You can find where he said that shit. So I'm not making that up.
Yeah. I want to go back to Carlos. So, any other thoughts? Because I know you don't like episodic stuff that much either.
Yeah, so I guess the reason why I said I liked it more than Cowboy Bebop is because the episodic parts in Trigun have, to me, had more of an effect on the overall story than the episodic episodes on a Cowboy Bebop.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Another nitpick that I have is the whole DC hero syndrome that I call is like I can't kill anybody.
Oh.
yeah, fuck that.
Exactly.
I hate that, and I found it ironic how Wolfwood or whatever his name is, he applied it at the very end, and that ended up in his demise. So I'm like, you should have done that.
In the end, like most of these cases where he's trying not to kill people, literally, like he spends so much time doing that so many other people die anyway. So he's ending up with a larger death count.
Yeah, you end up with the Man of Steel, where you cry, where you cry when you kill Zod, but when thousands of people die, you just it's like nothing.
Yeah, whatever. Wasn't me, so it's fine.
But I mean, there were some episodes where it did affect him, where he just feels like shit, and like he just let everyone down, and I like that. So.
And yeah, like I said, as far as the movie is concerned, the antagonist of the movie, like I said, I like the plot that the movie brought. A lot of these anime movies, obviously the plot is probably the weakest portion of it because they just want to throw a movie out there and wrap it up real quick. But in the movie, like I said, that new character that they introduced, really good backstory that connects with the villain, and the villain was actually another guy that had an even bigger bounty on his head than Vash did, and that's why I found another thing that was really interesting. Like, oh, look at that, Vash is not really the main attention as far as people wanting to take him out because of his bounty anymore. It's this dude right now. And what was Vash's own? Because the dude, his own was like 30 times higher than that.
Vash was the $60 billion double dollar man.
60 billion. I think his own was. I think his own was 300 billion or some shit like that by the end. The dude was, I thought he was a really good villain also. He had some really good gunslinger scenes also.
Hey,
yeah,
ready, man, get in here because I know you liked Trigun or loved it even. Ray.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you, man.
I was,
Because before you just gave us a synopsis, now we want your actual thoughts.
Yeah.
well, the comedy now, like I've grown up and an adult now, it doesn't stick with me, really. I found Bash being too naive, like just what Kanapa, that's how you pronounce it, said earlier. Damn.
Yeah, let us know later.
But like he said though, like I felt like him trying to save lives, the result just led to more deaths, and he was just too naive, like I said earlier, just letting everyone die and getting hurt in the process of trying to save everyone. I found the story to be confusing. You have to look in between and look for details. But yeah, I just thought it was okay for the most part.
Interesting. All right, let's get into the movie. Now, let's dive deep into that. Riku, I know you love the movie, as you said many
Yes.
times.
So yeah, in comparison to the other, the other movie, because obviously we're gonna compare it to Cowboy Bebop a lot. You just get over it. They're like twins.
Okay.
Talking the Cowboy Bebop movie was really, really good. I actually like the Trigun movie more than the Cowboy Bebop movie. And Madhouse really did a really good job with that. Even the art style, you could tell looked even cleaner. They had these nice, like, thick, cool looking outlines when it came to the art style in the movie. You can tell they learned a lot by the time they made it, and not taking anything away from the Cowboy Bebop movie done by Sunrise, because that one moved and looked really good also. But man, I thought that this Trigun one, it it blew me out of the water when it came to how the good looked, and it's obviously because this one came out 2010. The Cowboy Bebop one came out like early 2001 or something. But yeah, like dude, the story was just so good, even from the get go. It was just it sucked me in from the get go. Like a lot of like I said, a lot of the episodic stuff in the anime. I was just like, it really never really felt like I was even watching. It was just like I was just staring at it as the jokes, they threw these jokes at me, flew over my head. Yeah, but every time they threw a joke in the movie, I'm like, oh wow, I don't know. Maybe, like I said, I really do think it has something to do with if you binge watch the show or not. Because I felt like, because I didn't watch the movie right after I watched I didn't watch the movie right after I watched the anime. So I gave it some time and I came back to it. Maybe Vash's character needs to like sink in with you for a while before you tackle some more. Maybe it was that. I don't know. Or maybe it was the movie. I really can't pinpoint whichever one it is. But it was good, man. Conclusive, great. I like that movie. What are you guys' thoughts?
It's been a while since I watched the movie, so I don't actually remember it that much. Oh
They
no,
also,
the animation was nice.
oh, the opening song for Trigun, which is what I really liked. They had a little remix version play in the movie. Like obviously, you know how movies are. Main character, something happens to him, and he disappears for a while, and then he comes back right in time to save the day. Usually in movies, yeah, that happens in this movie also. And when that did happen, when Vash showed up, man, they played like a remix version of the opening to the Trigun, and that was really good. I was like, oh my god, they nailed it with this shit right here.
Hey, Chris, what was it like watching this movie? Because you saw Trigun when it originally aired, right? Or it came out?
Yeah, when I saw it when it came here, when they had it on, Toonami or whatever,
Yeah.
the night
So
one.
what was it like watching the movie? Because the movie came out almost 10 years after the
Like I said, I think there was just updated sensibilities, and I think there was a lot of things they did right with the movie. They grounded it squarely in the world that they established. It's this weird, like kind of weird Western world, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't talk about plants or the colonization stuff. They didn't get into any weird stuff. He wasn't fighting anyone with there's people with weird abilities, but like not like the crazy superpowers or knives or anything. They kept the story very simple. Like it was stuff about revenge and robbery and all that stuff, which is squarely grounded in kind of Western mythos, which was brilliant. They changed the pacing around, which was well done. Like they basically took Trigun and updated it, right, and paced it right for now. And that's why I think that the movie succeeded so well. As terms of the show is kind of not aging well because it had a different type of pacing, and they kind of didn't integrate the story arc into it well. They kind of jumped into it midway through the show, and it gets confusing. Like they had a great world there, and then they added all this stuff to it with the space stuff and knives and all this shit. It's like weird. So they kept it squarely grounded in the Western mythos they created, which I think was perfect. And they kept it a simple story. It's basically a train robbery, right? And a story about revenge. So it was very well done.
Yeah, well, I was saying as far as the when you were saying as far as the anime, it felt like the anime had like it didn't necessarily know what genre it wanted to, be its defining thing by the time it ended. Like obviously at the beginning, it's a comedic gunslinger, cool show, and if you're going to be that, then do it to your best ability. But then, first I felt, obviously the comedy didn't stick with me when it came to the anime. So in my opinion, I felt they failed in that. and then when they swapped it into the whole serious stuff, I just found it confusing. So that's why I feel the way I felt. But I just felt it had it. I felt it didn't necessarily know what it wanted to be.
Right, and there's shows that have done that better. There's definitely shows that have done that better. Full Metal Alchemist did that better, right? Where the brothers where they were traveling around, right? But Edward and Al, they grow as characters, and they have an arc from the beginning, and that you get introduced to the world slowly through everything. Whereas Trigun kind of leapt into the other stuff, right? Which was not the way to go. Like, so I feel like if it had the pacing and the story model of Full Metal Alchemist, like, it would have been much better received, you know?
Yeah, probably.
Right. Callum, did you have to see it? The movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie, I'm afraid.
Okay. Carlos, what about you, man?
No, I didn't get to see that movie, unfortunately.
Womp womp.
What? You can't talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's womp womp. Yeah,
you really can't.
No, that's why I'm saying womp womp. That seems to be the theme of this. No one's seen shit, and I'm the biggest one.
No, yeah, you definitely guys do yourself a favor. It is a good movie. Like, it's very well done. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Even if you don't finish the series, like, the movie's kind of like an episode in there. It's kind of encapsulated.
Honestly, I really didn't think you should have made that option. You should have made that shit required. So.
Well, like I said,
I would have made that shit required.
I was just thinking like everyone's time, so I figured like, okay, it's 26 episodes. Like, just get through the series and tell me what you think. But yeah, the movie's great. Like, don't get me wrong, I love all of it. So I definitely wanted everyone to watch all of it. But
yeah.
Oh, so going back, so Riku, you don't agree that this is a classic because it's considered. a classic,
I mean,
you know?
Classic can mean a lot of stuff. I mean, if you look at
classic means classic. You know.
I mean, well, when I think classic, I just mean something that's old that's something everybody likes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's good for everybody. But I mean, you say classic is a classic. Is it a classic to me? Obviously no, because I wasn't there to be that, for that to be considered for me. But I can see why people call it a classic if you watched it back in the day and you understood its jokes and you understood what they were going for when that second half dropped. Yeah, I can see why people call it a classic. But was it a classic to me? No.
I got you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Like, do you understand why people call it that? I guess you do.
From a standpoint, I can see why.
Awesome. All right. So go ahead. No. Okay. So let's get into the anime we're anticipating watching. Let's start with Chris.
Oh, me? I'm a bad judge. I haven't kept up on anything but baseball this month, so like, I got my usuals, man. I got to catch up on Triage X. I got to catch up on Yushio Totoro. So those are the shows. Those are the main shows I'm watching, or was watching before I fell off. But that's I don't know what's coming out soon. I haven't checked on what's coming up. I know Crunchyroll sent me some shit like, hey, these are the things you should be watching. I was like, yeah. Or,
what you should be watching is watching, right?
Yeah, I love watching the World Series.
Oh man! All right. As for me, One Punch Man. That's what I'm anticipating watching finally. And I'm gonna try to force myself to watch Dragon Ball Super. It's that Emperor Pilaf shit, man.
So if I did give you any sort of a recommendation, what you should do, honestly, you should, because you've already seen Battle of Gods, right?
I saw that whole thing, and you know how I felt about that movie already.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to rewatch everything up to that point because you already know what's gonna happen. If there's any episode that you actually do need to see, and I highly recommend you do, it's episode 14. It's episode 14. That's
So go from episode 14 and keep going forward then?
Yeah, you can. Honestly, I think you can start from episode 14 and be just fine because, like I said, you know what's going on in Battle Gods already. And as far as the Beerus versus Goku fight, that is really the only episode that you can ask anybody that's watching this that is watching Super that will definitely vouch for that episode. You really need to see that episode.
Awesome. Because the thing is, I'm intrigued by this whole because there's alternate universe now, Kakarot, like what he's actually meant to be. I want to see that. So if they eventually bring that in there, it's like, hey, what would happen if Kakarot fell and he didn't hit his head? What would happen?
All of that Universe 6 stuff. It's not starting right now because obviously they got to hop into the Resurrection of Frieza stuff, which is what last week's episode. That's what they were setting up to. You know what that's all about. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and all that stuff. I don't know if you've seen the movie. But in the movie,
I haven't seen it. You think I should just watch the show and skip the movie? Because, like I said, I didn't really like that last Dragon Ball Z movie that much.
I think you should watch it just for the sake of watching, because it was still, as far as fight scenes and all that stuff, you definitely shouldn't skip out on it.
That's a good point.
It was still really good.
And I heard it was better than Battle of the Gods. So
I personally liked it better than Battle of the Gods as far as the fights and all of that stuff. Seeing Frieza back and the interaction between Vegeta and Goku when they're fighting Frieza, I loved all of that. Obviously, I have one gripe about the movie, which I honestly hope they changed in the anime. I think we all know what it is. The little beam shot. I'm not going to mention anything else about that.
Oh yeah.
I hope that gets changes in an anime, but you'll see what I'm talking about, Tony. But I definitely think you should watch Fukatsu no F, the movie, and then give us your thoughts. Next month.
I will do that. Then.
Because that fight, it was really good. It was definitely something you should check out, and you could just start from the anime from there. Because I think when it came to Battle of Gods and Fukatsu no F, there's obviously a time skip in between there that they did not tell us. Because when Fukatsu no F starts, Goku's already a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Doesn't explain when he got it. Frieza was like, just show me your all. He showed it to him. You're like, what the fuck? He has blue hair now. And then they start fighting. That's like a movie. But as far as the most recent episode of what Super just started, that's what they're going to touch upon. How he got to Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and all the training with Whis and all that stuff. That's where we were going into.
Isn't that a different name now, by the way?
Yeah, Super Saiyan Blue, I heard.
Thank you, yeah. Because I'm not trying to say Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. That's fucking
I like saying it. It makes it sound cool. Anyway.
I don't, yeah.
That was funny? That was actually the purpose. He wanted to make everyone tongue twist and have a really cool abbreviation, SSGSS, but obviously people didn't click with it and then changed it.
Yeah, because it's retarded.
But, it is retarded. It is that. But
someone walked into his office and said, no, we're not doing
that. I think, a lot of people were like, change it. Even the toy companies are like, dude, we're not putting this on our fucking box. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. So even the toy companies that were making the games were like, okay, please. And he's like, all right. But, it's Super Saiyan Blue now.
That's still stupid too, but it's better.
No, but here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff. I think for the whole time I've been watching anything Dragon Ball, every time they introduce something, I always think it's stupid at first, and then I just get used to it. Like when I first saw Majin Buu, or like when I first saw Super Saiyan God, thinking it's just like some, it looks like an overpowered Kaioken. A lot of stuff Dragon Ball introduces, for the first time I hear it or see it, I'm like, this shit looks stupid. But it just clicks with me. So that's come now when I'm hearing Super Saiyan Blue, I'm like, this shit sounds stupid. I bet you in a couple months I probably won't be saying it.
Yeah, right.
I'll probably still be saying stupid.
I was saying Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan sounded stupid, and now I'm like, oh yeah, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Well, it makes more sense than Super Saiyan Blue. Why don't you call it?
It doesn't necessarily make sense.
Super Saiyan Yellow,
Yeah, I was just about to say that they're gonna retcon Dragon Ball Z right now. You're gonna call it Super Saiyan Yellow.
Super Saiyan 3, like Super Saiyan with longer hair.
Yeah, no, Super Saiyan Banana. Super Saiyan Banana. Call it that.
I know, right? But yeah, like you're saying, where the anime is right now, that's what they're getting into. The stuff that leads up to Fukatsu no F, all the stuff they haven't shown us. So all of that stuff is gonna be new. It's gonna be new content.
No, good, because like I said, that's what stopped me from watching the series. I was watching the series up until it started going with the movie. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, we've seen all of this already, yada.
And then specifically the Emperor Pilaf stuff, I'm like, I'm done. Fuck this shit. I'm going to skip.
They're obviously showing you all of the low parts recreated in the anime. So when I was mentioning episode 14, I'm actually that episode is basically the last episode that has to do with the fight between Beerus and Goku. Okay. And the only reason I want you to watch that is just to show you that obviously this fight was badass. It was really fucking good. And secondly, how different it was from the moving. You should definitely watch it just to see how different and cool this is. Because honestly, everyone that's seen episode 14, they prefer it over the movie. And the movie, as far as the fight between Beerus and Goku, it was cool.
Yeah,
but
it's
man,
CG shit they threw in there for some reason.
What?
Remember the CG shit that was pissing me?
Oh, yeah. There is no. Obviously, they don't have the budget to be doing no
Yeah.
CG in the anime. So if that's not in there. But I thought the anime did it better. I liked both of them, but I thought the anime did it better. I was like, holy shit, this is. I'm not even gonna say any of the stuff they did in that fight. I'm just gonna episode 14. Start from there, man.
All right, awesome. Callum, what are you anticipating watching?
Next season's got Arjun, so I'll be getting stuck into that in Assassination Classroom.
I'm gonna get into Arjun.
Yeah, but honestly, like 2016 as a whole, I don't know when it comes out, but Tales' 20th anniversary animation, Tales of Hysteria, full anime based like from that 40-minute film. It's, oh my god, a full version of that.
Dude, please tell me. I hope Ufotable is just like, all right, we're gonna make an anime opening for this anime. You know what? Let's just use the one from the video game. Please.
Might as well.
Please don't do anything. That's not gonna cost you anything. Just take the anime. Just take the opening from the video game and just use that and never change it.
Yeah, that opening is honestly like one of the incredible.
I'm playing this dude right now. Every time I turn the game on, I don't skip it.
Hopefully it doesn't like cut out the lyrics like they did in the fucking American game.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
I
had to look it up.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
I guess this is a Japanese singer, licensing, stuff like that in America.
Yeah.
Probably something to do with licensing.
Most likely. Isn't that always the case? But yeah, I can't wait for that freaking anime, man.
Yeah, so like when I start the game up, I just put on the YouTube video and play alongside my TV, just have it muted. Just imagine.
Really. Like I said, I prefer since I've heard the one without the lyrics before I heard this one. I actually prefer it without the lyrics because I just like the guitar solo.
I was so effing hyped. Riku was like, "Oh yeah, you about to go to where the opening is?" I was like, "Yes, I'm about to hear this song." And I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" I think Riku was like there with my reaction. I was like, "Where the fuck is my lyrics?"
I was like, "What lyrics?" Yeah, I like the guitar solo. If you ask anybody, I actually like songs that actually have no lyrics more than songs that do. I like the ones that do.
Instrumentals.
There you go. That's the word.
Yo, I don't know. When you can feel the singer's emotion, it evokes some emotions, certain emotions from you.
I guess.
Well, I mean, at different strokes. Like, I prefer like a ratio of like 60-40, 40% lyrics and 60% actual music.
Yeah.
That's what I prefer. You know,
even during songs that have lyrics, I prefer the guitar solo parts of songs.
Oh yeah, no, so do I. But you know, lyrics or just the song parts have a good way of anchoring the entire thing. You know,
Yeah.
But I do prefer more music than sing because there's some songs where it's just like 90% singing, just a little bit of. It's like, come on, man, what the fuck is this shit? So yeah, Callum, anything else you're anticipating?
Everything in life.
All the anime.
So you tell me, Kanifa, you heard about Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolts?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm fucking sick of them like redoing. Oh, here's another thing that happened during the 1 Year War. But Thunderbolt does look awesome.
Dude, I'm about to start reading that manga, Thunderbolt, because I had it in my final read, and I was like, why do I even want to read this? Because it's Gundam. All right, well, I'm gonna read it. And I did that months ago. Now that I hear it's gonna get an anime, I'm like, shit. Now I definitely have to read this shit. Thunderbolt. I can't wait for that shit.
The whole premise of it being like we're in this huge asteroid belt and we've only got ordinary mobile suits, so we need to pack loads of armor onto them. That's just gonna make for awesome Gunpla.
Yeah. Yeah, Thunderbolt.
But next season I'm probably gonna end up watching 20 series again because.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the only season where I've watched less than 20.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think next season I might. I wanna chop it down to like under 6, man. Because I want to hit that backlog like crazy, man. I want to hit it.
Dude, next season I just want to chop it up to at least 1. God damn.
All right, LeRay, man, what about you?
Yo, man. I'm looking at the spring 2016 anime chart right now. They don't have a lot of stuff announced so far, but like Big Order. That's one I'm looking forward to.
Yes, big order. Now, Tony, you might have to grab on that big order soon, because that's by
Okay.
the creators of
Future
Mirai
Diary.
Nikki. Yeah, Future
So like,
Diaries.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
so
I
yeah.
need to watch that.
So it
Yeah.
follows like this introverted high school boy that's like he grew up like liking the villains. You know, they get stuff done. Like just like the guy from One Punch Man, like that considers himself a monster. What's his name, Riku?
Oh, Garu.
Garu. Like they considers himself a monster, but like he looks up to him and like he eventually like he wishes the destruction of the world. And it kind of
The main
happens.
character?
Yeah, the main character does this. So like
Okay.
it kind of happens. So it brought about his wish, and this begins a cataclysm of events. Um, that so like this being came out of nowhere, grants his wish, and chain reaction to that, a lot of people wishes started to come true, and they get powers and results of that based off their wishes. Like I think I explained this last time. Like for
Hmm.
example,
Yeah.
like this person wants like the power to protect everyone. They become like this giant rock dude, you know, so they can take all the punishment they can, you know. So this one it is looking to be interesting. Some interesting fights.
Wait a second. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about that last time. That sounded pretty fucking cool to me, man.
Yeah, and I remember I told LeRay somewhere around this month that fuck you, Kiss Anime. The no, because I was looking up something with Big Order, and previously Big Order had only got a an
Oh,
OVA, one episode OVA, which
Yeah.
I was actually gonna look that up on Kiss Anime to see if they had it, because apparently it aired October 3rd, so places have to have had that right now. And I was wondering, they did this with Mirai Nikki also, where they had an OVA before the anime TV adaptation started, and I was wondering if it would be you know, if watching the OVA would be the right thing, or should we just skip on the OVA and
Usually
just
the
watch the
OVA is
anime?
a good idea. Like, if you don't like the OVA, you won't like the series, so...
True. So I'm just wondering if I should watch the OVA, or should I skip it and just get ready for the show? Hmm. What do you think, LeRay? Since you're about it.
what was your question? What you thinking?
About the OVA that dropped earlier this month.
Hmm.
Obviously, it's only going to be a little snippet of probably the first. How long is this? 25 minutes. So it's probably going to be just episode one, maybe rushed a little bit further
I'm
than
okay. I'm
huh?
okay with that because like it gives you a little taste of what's to come, like the animation style and what to expect. Are you gonna be disappointed? Are you gonna be excited for it? So
Yeah.
I think that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's gonna set the pace for me. Even though I read part of the manga, so I know a lot that's gonna happen.
Mm,
So yeah, I'm okay
April.
with that. I'm
Yeah,
okay
that
with
comes
that.
out in April. So that's Q2 of next year. Yeah.
Hey man, you know
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah. Yeah. I might watch. I might actually watch that OVA, and by the time we have the next Otanime, I'll probably talk about it.
hey man, I'm just gonna read the manga and live my life. It comes out, you know, just like One Punch Man, you know, yeah, y'all like people waiting week to week. I'm like, yeah, it's out.
I guess man. I read this shit already.
Exactly.
So is that it? Anything else, man?
Oh, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, they coming out with
Oh,
it.
yeah!
So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. So like, if people don't know, it's about just follows this life of this lawyer that you know protects people and his rivalry with Miles Edgeworth, this prosecutor that always tries to help the bad guy out, even though he's not necessarily bad himself. He just does his job pretty well. And it's pretty crazy how like a rookie like him like takes out all these other prosecutors, and it's like a each episode I bet it's gonna be like a Phoenix versus this ace prosecutor. You know, it's gonna be like a versus match how they go against each other. So it's gonna be pretty interesting that way. Another anime I'm looking forward to, even though I have yet to get started on the manga nor the anime. Magi Senbad no Boken.
Mm. Sinbad no Boken. Okay, so you're starting off with Sinbad no Boken.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
spoil
yeah.
it off, with that. I'm just gonna by the time it comes out, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready. So I'm gonna read the manga. I go in on the manga, probably maybe watch the anime. I tried watching the anime, but I stopped. Maybe this anime that I just saw on this list called Sword Guy. Apparently it's about this guy that gets his arm cut off, and this guy gives him a sword to use as an arm, and when you fight,
Sword Guy.
yeah, that's spelled as G-U-Y. It's spelled as G-A-I. So it's not sword. The guy's name is Guy. So.
I've seen this. I've seen this before. As far as like upcoming stuff. Interesting.
Yeah. There's so many good announcements this
November.
year.
Interesting.
So I'm looking forward to that. Now, that's it basically on my list. And the other time, last episode on Otanime that I announced, I really have not gotten any of those anime that came out that I really was anticipated to watch off my list. So I'm slacking. So I have like a huge backlog. Riku said his backlog is huge. Nah, it's not shit compared to mine.
Oh man! All right, Carlos. What about you, man?
Yeah, the only something I really want to catch up on is anime movies. So I want to watch the last two Studio Ghibli movies. I forgot the names of them.
Kaguya and Marnie.
Yeah, Marnie's one of them, and the other one's the Tale or the Princess or something.
Tales of Princess Kaguya.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah.
So I want to watch those two, and November 10th, the Karanokyo Kai collection comes out, so so I might. Hopefully, it gets shipped around that time.
I think I had to cancel mine. I probably had to cancel mine because I have to move and have money for that, and that's like $215. I'm like,
yeah, mine was I think mine was over 300.
Wow.
No, was it? No, it was two something, or maybe it was 300 after tax.
Like it's exclusive on Amazon.
Well, I got it from their own website.
You better cancel that shit and get it from Amazon.
I got it from Aniplex.
Let me actually look.
Oh, shit.
You're talking about the Miyazaki collection, right?
No, I was talking about the Karanokyo Kai collection.
Yeah,
So
stop supporting them. Stop supporting them.
Aniplex is just there to suck you off, man. Take all your money.
Making it seem that it's okay for them to sell these products at unreasonable price. Stop it.
I mean, it. The only reason I did it is because it's one of my favorite series of all time. So
that's what they want, Carlos.
They succeeded, man. I failed, but I had to. And good segue. So I did pre-order the Miyazaki collection as well. So nice. I should be getting that on the 17th, and I should be watching the Miyazaki movies that I haven't seen yet, which shouldn't be too many.
I want to hear your opinion next month on what you thought of when Marnie is there, because that twist.
Shit. Yeah, man.
I thought I was watching an M. Night movie with that twist.
Yeah. So I actually need to go buy that. Hopefully they have it at Best Buy or something.
Amazon's your best friend. They always have that stuff in stock. I bought Tales of Princess Kaguya. That's what it's called. From Amazon too.
Yeah.
That movie was long. I didn't even finish it. I need to go back and finish it. But when Marnie was there, it's like a good, like a heartwarming film about this girl going over, not a relative's house, but a close friend's house to chill. I'm not gonna go much into it because you're about to watch it. So it's really good. You should watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to see those because I heard nothing but good things about those two movies.
Do you have tissues, man?
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
All right, that's that. Before we wrap it up, let's.
Hey, you didn't even give me a Chris.
Oh no, Chris is done already. He said he's, Rico. Yeah, Rico, end it off. What about you?
Oh
man?
God.
No, actually no. I'm just gonna say it now because I want to actually wrap the show up. One Punch Man, but we'll do that after you're finished. So go ahead. What do you anticipate?
Go in on One Punch Man.
Yeah, go ahead. You my One Punch Man. It's not that much. Obviously, I just want to get caught up with all the stuff I fell behind in because of Tales, and that Mobile Suit Gundam Origins episode 2. That's all I want to see. That's all I'm anticipating. As far as what's coming out, because obviously this anime season started. Everything is already ongoing. I'm already watching everything I want to watch, so I just need to get caught up with it. So there's not really anything I'm anticipating that isn't out yet, except for that episode 2, which it should be out by now. So that's the only thing.
All right, so let's get into it, man. One Punch Man, Riku, lead us off.
Fucking One Punch
your
Man.
anime of the year, man.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
It is. Like if you were holding some fucking rewards at the end, like doing some sort of like anime thing, that would probably win it. Because the opening, legit. The anime, legit. As far as adaptation quality, it's damn near perfect. Obviously, there's stuff that were changed, and me and Kaneko were talking about it on Twitter. Huh?
Yeah.
What don't you tell us, Riku?
So, yeah, there were certain scenes, like, obviously, it was the most recent episode, the scene in the forest where the Speed of Sound Sonic and Saitama are going at it. And me and Kaneko were talking about this on Twitter, where basically there's obviously a significantly different scene on how it went down. And I wasn't the only one that, saw this. I watch. I'm one of those people that watch anime reviews on YouTube. I'm one of those guys. I'm sorry, I am. And they all
sort of people.
Yeah, and when I was watching their reviews, also they saw it also, where it's just like that one scene where Speed of Sound Sonic is blitzing all across the place. I understand they couldn't do it, but man, out of all of the scenes you couldn't have adapted, that was really one of the scenes that, like, it was engraved in all of our heads. Yusuke Murata really worked his ass off to make that, that scene, and I was just so disappointed when it wasn't there. I was like, fuck, I was waiting for it, man. It was engraved in my head. I just remember it's spinning around Saitama, blitzing all over the place, and then they just gave us this. I'm like, fuck.
There is a reason for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
And so the animation director was the same chief animation director from Gundam Build Fighters, and he is probably one of the best effects animators in the business. But he also has a huge obsession with beam effects.
Yeah, I saw that of your contact.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so much to the point that all of the bits that have effects animation are the best animated parts of this, and obviously that certain cuts didn't really get the time that it could have had in comparison.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that the same animation director behind One Punch was the Bill Fighters guy. That's interesting. But what I was saying I was saying this to LeRay a couple hours ago, and what basically I was trying to get my point across when I was tweeting with you with the whole when I was saying, man, Madhouse, you disappointed me, and you're telling me it wasn't necessarily Madhouse. I was like, I'm sorry, man.
It's not just not necessarily Madhouse. It just, like, sometimes Hunter x Hunter had more Madhouse stuff, but One Punch Man, the only Madhouse bits of One Punch Man you're seeing are the in-between frames. Like, they outsourced everything except for next episodes. Except next episode is kind of been forecasted to be the worst animation.
Really?
Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad.
As far as I have you read the manga firstly?
Yeah.
All right, so you know what's going to happen next week. Obviously he's going to register and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think anything, heavily animated should even be in that episode. So if that's the case,
which is probably why they chose this episode to go, okay, this is the bit where we're going to have to cut down on budget.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I understand it, because that one necessarily doesn't need it. Just makes Sakama look like in his little jokey self. Dialogue, introducing characters, and obviously make us laugh and wrap it up. I'm not really expecting much from next week. The week after that with the Sea King, I'm expecting that shit to be like shit.
Oh yeah, I expected the animation to be superb.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there. But as far as next week, I'm not. I'm just expecting, obviously some build up and a character introduction.
But
But
like, I'll continue, Richard. I'm sorry.
but as far as the whole, when you're saying that the in betweeners, it's only. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have to disagree with that, man. It's just.
Please give him the metaphor you use. Please give him.
Oh, the metaphor. Okay, my metaphor is a pretty harsh metaphor, but I got my point across. It was basically, all right. Let's say that McDonald's makes me, the chief of this certain McDonald's, and you go to the drive-thru and you order a Big Mac, and then you get your Big Mac, and you open up your Big Mac, and there's a turd right on top of the Big Mac, and I shit it in your burger. This is me. Who are you gonna blame? Are you gonna blame McDonald's? Or are you gonna blame me? You don't know me. You're gonna blame McDonald's because you're like, what the fuck, McDonald's? There's a shit in my burger. And obviously,
I don't get the comparison. I'm sorry, I got no idea what you're talking about.
No, the part where you're like, there's people that are like, they're kind of working with Madhouse. They're what's the word?
Well, yeah, the people that actually
necessarily
work at Madhouse, the people who have a desk at Madhouse,
Yeah.
They're mostly working on in between frames, which
Yeah.
obviously you need good animators for in between frames, but it's not a creative position.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like, man, obviously Madhouse hired these people to do this, so to some extent, you have to blame Madhouse. Come on now.
But no. You can say yes to Madhouse. Yes, good job, Madhouse, for the director. But even the director might have been someone from Jump, someone that Jump recommended. Like Madhouse is just literally where they got their coffee from.
But it's a Madhouse production.
It's a Madhouse production.
It has their name on it.
It's got their name on it, yeah. But in reality, Shingo Natsuma, the director's name, should be a lot higher.
It should, but it isn't.
It is, yeah, it isn't, because anime fans don't give a shit about directors.
Yeah, we really don't, and we really should, because when we want to see something really hype and animated, that's up to them. But
and we get this entire loop of people going, "Oh, Madhouse is really dropping the ball. Oh, Madhouse is doing great. Bad beats Madhouse." When in reality, it's just it's the same with loads of other studios. Oh, PA Works really dropped the ball on this one. Oh, A1 Pictures did terrible writing, and like A1 Pictures isn't even a real studio. And there's so many cases where it's like, no, just find the director, look at the freelancers. They made it.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Where you should really look at the people behind the stuff, because you could definitely take that example and put it into video games. You can't really be like, oh, what the fuck, Konami? What the hell is this? As far as Metal Gear, no, that was Kojima that did all of that. You give all the credit to Kojima.
But even
Konami.
But video games are a different situation. Like as every time you say Kojima Productions, you mean the exact same people. But every time you say Madhouse or any anime studio, except Kyoto Animation, of course, then you're meaning a completely different group of people.
I was talking about this. Well, I guess that wasn't a good example. I was talking about as far as this is probably a better example. Dark Souls 2. Miyazaki wasn't there, and if you ask any Dark Souls fan, Dark Souls 2 is it's not bad, but it's definitely the worst in the series. And everyone blames on the fact that Miyazaki isn't there. They obviously, did not have any direction of Miyazaki, and this is how the game turned out. And then when he came back for Bloodborne and for Dark Souls 3, which we haven't played yet, but we're assuming it's probably just as good as Bloodborne or anything that he was there for. People aren't really blaming Bandai Namco for the fact that Dark Souls 2 is how it is. They're blaming the fact that Miyazaki isn't there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing what you were saying. You really shouldn't be looking at the company, because no one's looking at Bandai Namco. They're looking at Miyazaki, and like you're saying, they should be looking at the animation directors, not really Madhouse. I understand where you're coming from when it comes to that. But I mean, I guess I'm just a simple guy, and I'm just like, what the fuck, Madhouse, man? You just fucked up my favorite scene, man. So I guess I'm just butthurt that, man, it was just something I really wanted everybody to see, and obviously, if you haven't read the manga, you're probably never gonna see it. Fuck. But the episode was still adapted really fucking well. I'm not taking anything away from that because that was my only tiny little minuscule gripe about it. But everything else was, man, got it the nuts, man. Everything was good.
Yeah, let's get the other side of it. LeRay, man, what's going on?
I have some gripes with.
Yeah, go ahead.
Riku, I always go in on Riku on this. You know, I told Riku like months ago, like before I read it a little bit ago, like I don't know, probably like half a year ago or so.
Yeah.
I read part of it, like 1 or 2 chapters. I'm like, yo, man, Riku, this is boring as fuck. This man just goes around punching everyone. And then Riku's like, okay, man, you know, give it another try. And I read through the whole thing. It's still the same thing. I feel like there's no character development, no progression. You know, it's just like Saitama is the safety net of everyone. The only person that progresses is Genos. And his story is. I feel like.
Oh yeah, but I was telling you that oh yeah, and obviously the characters that are gonna show next week. But I remember I told you back when you said I'm not really feeling One Punch Man. And I told you specifically why. Obviously, Genos is my favorite character, and I also told you you should definitely be focused on everybody but Saitama. I remember telling you that, and I still.
So like, it's hard to focus on everyone when Saitama's like y'all would see like once the Sea King arc, like how everyone's like getting boxed up by the Sea King, and like I'm like this is a tough fight. They're all gonna ask with the Sea King. Like it was like an epic fight. Like we run into like all these different types of bosses, monsters, what have you. Like and like that fight was like actually had me on the edge of my seat. Like whoa, flipping the pages real fast. Like yo, is this guy gonna win? No, he got knocked out. And like yo, Speed of Sound Sonic is like whooping this guy up. And then like it starts to rain and stuff like that, and he got stronger and stuff like that. And Speed of Sonic was like peace. But like
Yeah, you could definitely consider that kind of the same with the Mosquito Girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like they're getting his ass whooped. Like Genos like got knocked out by the guy with 1 punch, you know. And then Saitama comes. Guess what he does? He's 1 punch. It's like you don't see the rewards of like Genos is like training or anything or like characters doing stuff about himself when you know stuff can go to shit. Like, everything can be destroyed, but you know that Saitama's going to be there just to defeat the enemy in 1 punch.
I mean, you could say the same thing for Goku, though. No?
No, well, Goku got his ass whipped by Bills, though.
Yeah, but that's just recent. I'm talking about everything we've seen from Goku for these past 20 years.
True, but I was a kid watching that growing up. So.
Yeah, I think when it comes to One Punch, I think you should definitely be in the same mindset when it comes to a comedy.
I know.
It's a comedy.
But the thing is, though, comedy, it's funny to chuckle for a bit, but it's not gonna keep me there. I'm sorry.
Like I said, comedy is subjective. I said that earlier.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying that the comedy is bad. I'm just saying I need more than comedy to keep me there. Like, the comedy is funny. I thought it was especially funny when he was speaking that that guy was in carnage mode, and he's like, I'm gonna be in carnage mode for 7 days, or like a whole week. And like Saitama was like in his head contemplating like, oh my gosh, if he's going in, like, he's like, I'm not gonna start my rampage until next Saturday. He's like, just that's 7 days. That means today is Saturday. And like he's like, you think he's like freaking out about this guy in carnage mode beating him up, but like he's like, ends up like, oh no, that means the cell is today, and I missed it. He punches him and kills him in 1 hit, which I thought is funny because it made you feel like he was in trouble the whole time when he wasn't, and he was just worried about the cell.
No pun intended, but that punchline was fucking hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing after that.
I don't know. I didn't necessarily find that. See, like I said, comedy is subjective. I didn't necessarily find that part funny to me. What I did find funny though was that mosquito and shit. When he did like, oh yeah, that should have me involved. But it's definitely subjective when it comes to comedy. As far as comedy not being able to keep you, I can see that. I would compare it to Fulikuli. I mean, Fulikuli is a short series. You loved it, and you came in there with knowing that this is a comedy. Don't really take this serious. You hear further action on all that stuff. It has some sort of story, but it's not really what you should focus on. And obviously, I didn't necessarily like Fooly Cooly that much, and obviously because the comedy didn't click with me, and the story was the background and stuff, so they didn't really focus that much if you were really super paying attention to it, and it didn't really click with me.
I think we need more Genos. Like his story is just
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
my problem is there's too much Genos.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough, man.
Like I'm not talking about like his action scenes. I'm just talking about like his story progress and like
No.
find out more.
I want more of his action scenes and I want less of his story, because the entire point of the story is stop with the stupid over elaborate backstories and character developments. Like that's the one big joke, but then it ends up having to fall into that in certain places.
Yeah, it definitely is a joke, because obviously when he was introducing it, Saitama didn't even want to hear none of that shit. That was obviously the joke. But it's still at the end of the day, we still care about him. And they're still obviously still pushing this whole Genos and who is this robot that he's trying to find, and they're still pushing it, even though it's not necessarily, Genos is not the main character or all that stuff. And he's definitely going to hit the back burner in these next couple episodes, since they're going to introduce all the other characters.
And like by the time the anime's done, like we know Madhouse. Madhouse, they're gonna like keep on going with this. They're probably gonna stop at the super alien guy.
Yeah.
Like we're at that point, you don't hear anything about the android.
Yeah.
Whatever the guy is.
Yeah. I mean, you will hear. Wait, that alien thing. You remember when in the manga the whole meteor thing and him punching and then the Metal Knight? Yeah. Was that before or after the alien thing? I think that was before.
That was before.
Okay, so we'll see a little bit more about him meeting Metal Knight, which I think it may be Metal Knight, but we'll never, even in the manga still even hasn't explained that, and obviously the anime is gonna stop there, and then they're just gonna leave us with blue balls.
Yeah, just like I don't know, they just like gave us like one little hint of like what's going on. Like that one superhero comes up to Genos and is like, "You can't trust this guy." You're like, whoa, they gave us something, but like then again, it just goes back to the dumb action. So
see, and then the thing is, I don't know how far they're gonna go into Garu either, man. That's such a good thing too. But
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that because that's like I saw like what he becomes, and like I'm excited to see how he progresses because that makes me see that there's actual progression. People do grow in manga, so I'm happy. I'm looking forward to how he evolves. Even though he is a bad guy, so.
Yeah. What were you saying, Kanema?
See, I don't want them to explain why Saitama is so strong.
Oh,
I don't want any explanation. I want it to be 100%.
I could definitely understand. Yeah, I could definitely understand not wanting to know. And as far as you know about the webcomic, correct, Kanema? The webcomic, the original. Okay, yeah. So apparently where they are. Yeah, apparently where they are in the webcomic, they're explaining it. So yeah, you don't hear about it. They're explaining it.
I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
They're explaining.
Skip it, man.
I don't know what they're gonna do with it, and I don't know how long the series is gonna go after they explain. Because obviously that was the joke. They could make that joke go on for literally forever. We're talking about like Detective Conan lengths if they wanted to, but they're obviously not going. He's obviously not gonna make that. He's definitely not going to make it go on that long. So the fact that he's explaining it means that, he's obviously thinking about a conclusion to this.
See, this is what happens. It always fucking happens. Shonen Jump gets their hands on a popular manga, and then suddenly it doesn't, nobody wants to end it, and they'll introduce new plot points just to make it keep on going.
I didn't know Shonen Jump got the manga for One Punch.
They do.
Okay.
That's the remake.
Yeah. I know that's the remake. I know the original version. I don't think the original. Yeah. I see it. Shonen Jump.
Yeah. The original writer has honestly the easiest job in the world. He started making that webcomic just for fun. He's obviously not a good artist. He just made it as a joke.
Yeah.
Then suddenly it got popular. Someone else said, "Oh, I'll remake it. Also, we're going to pay you." And now you're also getting royalties. He doesn't need to contribute to the Shonen Jump version. All he needs to do is just keep on making his version.
Yeah,
it's the easiest job in the world.
I just
He
recently
still has his name on the front of it too. You know?
no,
Yeah,
because the thing is, I just recently figured this out. As far as that remake, the manga, he's writing the story to that too. I don't know if you guys know that. I thought it was someone else. It's still him.
Oh, it's not that he's writing a story. It's just the same stuff remade.
No, it's not necessarily the same stuff. Like I was saying, I read a little bit of the webcomic, probably like 10 or 15 chapters ahead of where the manga is right now, and they're taking different paths. So it's obviously this writer, he, when he's making this official manga remake version, he obviously wants to change stuff around. I don't know why, because the stuff, I think the original webcomic path that he was taking was just fine. I don't know why he wants to change it, but there's definitely differences, bro.
I don't know. I guess if you ask any writer, they'll probably have like one or two things. Oh, I wish I changed this, or
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, yo, guys, today's Chris Healy's birthday.
Hey, man, Chris, why you didn't tell us this, man?
Happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the One Punch Man stuff. We'll definitely talk about it more when Tony gets caught up with it. We can get him into these conversations. He's gonna get hyped and whatnot. Cause
that already sounds awesome, man. Like to me, and I haven't seen it. I'm kind of with Callum. It's like I don't need to know what this man. I don't know why. I don't care why he gets his power. It's like a zombie show. It's like I don't really care why they're zombies. Just
I don't know, like at first it was like funny because like I actually believed it because I don't work out and I don't know like how stuff works in this world. How stuff works in this world. Maybe he did work out for like that and he got really strong until like people started to not believe him. Like, tell us your real secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then to me it almost sounds like a parody of Dragon Ball Z. You know how Dragon Ball Z, like Goku always saves the day. This guy's literally beyond Goku because he could just fight anybody in one hit and win. So that sounds interesting to me.
And the thing with the two fights that we're anticipating, the Alien and the Sea King, when it comes to those two fights, he doesn't just like, oh yeah, I'm here, one punch, it's over. No, we actually do get a good fight scene. It actually does last a while, and you definitely. Here's the thing about that. One of them actually do take 2 punches. But you're gonna get a really good fight scene out of it before he actually does this one punch though.
I don't know. I didn't feel like it was a good fight scene.
Really? What, the Alien one or the Sea King?
It was so one-sided. I'm talking about the Alien. I actually remember how that concluded, but the Alien is fresh in my mind because I remember all this shit. Like Saitama just standing there taking it. All he did, take it, and the Alien was transforming. He was like, "You're the one that you forced me to use this power I'd never used before," and he just goes at it with Saitama. And Saitama doesn't do anything until he's like, I forgot what he called this move. He's like serious punches.
Yeah. Serious punch.
Punches when he wasn't even serious, and like because like the alien's dying, when the alien's dying, he's like, oh, you wasn't even serious. That those punches gave up. He just wanted to show I guess he wanted the alien to think that he was going his fullest when he wasn't. So like Saitama still is not challenged. They're just disappointing.
Like I said, I understand.
He's never going to be challenged.
I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Basically, it's impossible for Saitama to ever be challenged because it's been confirmed his punch is capable of restarting the universe. It's basically capable of starting a new Big Bang.
He's Superboy, basically.
It's like in one interview. I haven't been able to find it again, but I do need to find it because it's such a great quote. It's just. Yeah, it could restart the universe.
And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if that information they got that from the webcomic, because the webcomic is so far ahead of the manga, you have no clue. So I'm not up there, but I've heard some really crazy stuff about what they're revealing and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got it from there.
But the good thing,
go ahead.
But the good thing though that they're doing right now, like even though like it's kind of like a build up. They're like no one can beat Saitama, but like when we finally get that person, if we get that person. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be like the hypest shit of all time because of the build up of him not fighting an enemy. and I cannot wait for that day.
Yeah, like I said, man, Gotti, it has to be him. It has to be him.
And
I hope it is.
And he's bored too. He's like,
Yeah.
I thought you was strong.
Yeah. The way they're creating that guy, it has to be him. If it's not him, I will be disappointed in this entire series, and I might take away its 10.
Oh,
Damn, you gave it a 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 10. The manga, I gave it 10. The anime is still sitting at a super high 9 right now. I need to see how it wraps up and whatnot.
The art alone is worth it. I love the art in that. Oh my
Yusuke
god.
Murata, he definitely did his shit. I might have to go and check out freaking what's that other thing he made? Eye Shield 21. I might have to check that shit out. Manga guy, give him a second.
Give me a second.
Yeah, but by the way, the punches that restart the universe, that sounds like Superboy, actually. Oh shit, there it is.
Yeah, Eye Shield 21. That's the same artist, and he actually wrote Eye Shield.
It's my favorite comic. It's my favorite sports. I mean.
Nice. Have you, what other sports have you seen to say that?
I don't know, but I've had IQ. Starts at Kuroko, but I've ended up dropping loads of them because they can't.
Wow.
None of them stack up.
Oh wow! I really need to watch it. Did you read or watch Eye Shield?
I watched it, and then basically the show doesn't do the whole thing. There's one arc at the end that you have to read.
I might consider that. I know I have to animate my plan to watch. I might have to add the Eye Shield.
Well, I'm planning to read it. Like I've read like a couple of chapters of it, but I'm planning on going back.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is probably the longest episode of this show we ever done, by the way. But yeah, we had a lot of good stuff to say. Oh, before we wrap it up, Callum, man, pimp your shit, because you got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah, thekennethforeffect.com. Yeah, I do stuff. I'm doing a video about studios, same sort of thing I talked about here. That's it.
I heard you're passionate about that, man. Get it done. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll link to it in the post and all that. And I'm guessing we can anticipate the fall anime post from you eventually.
Oh shit! Yeah, I do need to do that. I've been super busy these past few weeks, but that'll be up on thecoalition.com.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I'm always anticipating, because every time I see that, like, I make a little list, like, okay, I gotta watch that. You know? And that's the reason, Riku got introduced to you, because I'm looking at this stuff. I'm like, Riku, he watches stuff that's totally different than what you watch. You need to hook up with this guy, man.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're a cool cat, Kenneth. I'm glad I got to chat with you tonight. I know we tweet a lot and whatnot.
You're a cool cat. Even though I hate cats.
Cool. Hey, and for me, it was cool, like, Callum talking to you outside of a meeting. That's the only time we interact with each other, like, talking, you know?
Super formal, so today, be working on this review. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, so let's get to the anime we're watching next month. It was supposed to be Manny's turn. He's not here, so Carlos, man, it's your turn. We're going to bump you up. So what are we watching next month? Have you had sufficient time to figure it out?
I think I've had enough time.
So in the month of November, what? Hold on, I gotta set this shit up right. Come on, Google, don't fuck it up here. God damn it! I wanted to have the drum roll and shit. Here we go. All right, so for the month of November, what are we watching?
So, Katanagatari. I don't know if you guys have heard of Katanagatari.
Oh wow!
Didn't you just say something about that?
No, I didn't, but I actually was looking at that earlier today. Isn't that a part of a really long ongoing Gatari series? Yeah, I was talking about. No.
So,
you did.
I think it's from the same creators of the Monogatari series.
Yeah.
But it's an independent story. I don't know if it's maybe the same setting or something.
I heard it is.
It's not the same setting though. It's completely different.
Okay.
It's
good. I've been wanting to know the hype behind this Gatari series, bro.
Monogatari is fantastic.
I've been hearing.
Watch Bakemonogatari. If you even like that a bit, then continue, because I think Bakemonogatari is the weakest part of the series.
Isn't that like considered, as far as like the short anime series, that one has the most like sequel little thing?
It has a lot of sequels, yeah.
Bakemonogatari, Lisa Monogatari, then there's a whole load of other names that I can never remember.
I'm sure there's someone out there that knows all
I
of them in
don't
order.
know anything about this anime, and I'm guessing some of my viewers don't. Let's get a synopsis, Carlos.
So I'm not good with the synopsis, so I'm just going to read it from Mal.
Okay.
So the synopsis says, long ago, the masterful swordsmith Shikizaki Kiki crafted 1,000 blades, though his 12 final works, the legendary Deviant Blades, were prime among the rest. All with uniquely defined traits, these swords are among the greatest in Japan. Leap forward many decades and arrive at an isolated island, where Yasuru Shishika and his older sister Nami reside. Togame, a woman with long white hair and a talent as a strategist, begins a quest with Shishika in order to collect the 12 blades. They must face the blade wielders in intense battles while they learn more about themselves and their real goals and wishes. So yeah, it's this series is 12 episodes long, but the episodes last an hour each.
Whoa.
So it's 12 hours.
So it's technically considered like
24
36.
episodes.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying if they're an hour and there's like 20 some odd in each, there would be like 3 episodes per 1 hour, right?
Wait,
There might be
An
50
hour
minutes.
per episode?
Yeah, like 50 minutes to an hour, I think, is every
That
episode.
sounds like Tawanakwan. Like it was like 6 episodes, but they were like 40, 50 minutes each. So it was like more like 12 episodes. So yeah, that's kind of cool. You rarely see stuff like that. So that sounds cool. And it's like a samurai type of thing. That sounds cool too, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of deals with swords and martial arts kind of thing. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty epic story, and there's a lot of talking. So bear with all the dialogue, but it's really good. And the ending is one of the best I've ever seen.
Oh, nice.
I love the ending.
And this is like one of your top anime of all time, right? Personally.
I would
He's got
say
some crazy ones up there, man.
yeah, it's not in my top 10, but I mean my top 10 is crazy. But it's
I know,
up there.
I know Mal increased the limit, so I actually do want to see your top 10 if you didn't have it up there. Carlos.
I need
You know, Riku's gonna be on your ass about that too, right, LeRay?
Yeah, he made me reinvent my whole mouth. If you look at it like a month ago, you'd be like, "What the fuck? This is not LeRay's page." Like now it is. You can force me to put top 10 at everything. God damn. But like, but you know, it was an equal trade-off. He's gonna read a manga that I want him to read. So
Yeah. I'll definitely let you know about that. But
So,
yeah.
I checked for Katanagatari on Kiss Anime, and it's there, but it's only in sub. So
Manny's not gonna watch it. Manny's not gonna watch it then.
Riku, I know you probably have it up on Mal. What's his rating on Mal?
Oh, Katanagatari? 8.52. That's pretty fucking good.
I told you this man is fast.
No, because I already had it in my plan to watch. You know who told me about this? Rafik told me about this.
Really?
This is why it's in my plan to watch already, because I remember Rafik telling me extremely good stuff about this. So yeah, it's already in my plan to watch, bro. So yeah, thank you for giving me something to knock out my plan to watch.
nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can't wait.
All right, so that is it for this episode. So once again, I'm Tony Polanco. I was joined by Callum May.
Hi. Hi.
Riku Sun 1.
The only one. Peace out, people.
Chris Seeley.
Yo, let's go Mets. Oh, wait, it's about anime. Sorry, let's go Swordsman.
Let's go Punch.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
All right, Carlos Romero.
There, people.
And the manga god himself, LeRay Williams.
Hey, you know, the virtual hey guy, you know where we keep it?
All right, guys. We'll see you next month, Carlos. Next month.
Next month, yeah.
All right, guys. Later.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.